Hey, this is Chris Jenkins for CharlotteVibe.com, and let me just go ahead and apologize for the quality of this video and where I'm doing the video. I just accidentally deleted the video from earlier, but I felt like the content that was done today was something that you guys wanted to hear before it became old news. So without further ado, let me go ahead and get into telling you about some of the things that I saw from Carolina Panthers practice today. First thing was Greg Olsen. You know, he missed last week with back spasms, did not travel to Tennessee. He was back at practice today. He took part in individual drills, did not take part in team drills, but I did see him take a lot of practice on the jug machines, making sure he's catching balls and staying fresh. Coach Rivera did say that he expects Greg to be in practice Tuesday, tomorrow, and if he's in practice, he does well and he feels good, that we can expect to see him play in preseason game number 3 this Friday night versus the Patriots. Other things, I'd like to talk about the punters for a second. We did make some changes recently with the punters. So Siegfried, I saw him punt today, and his punts were catching me off guard so much I decided to record a few. They were about 5 seconds, had really good hang time, really good distance. Friedman, man, I forget his name. Fredman, excuse me on this one, guys. Again, I'm trying to record this so you get it. But I saw his punts, and they were not as good as Siegfried's. He had some good distance on, some good height on a few, but just didn't seem like with this battle right now that he would be the winner between these two. Bené Benwikere, I loved how he had a game this past Saturday against Tennessee, having that sack, having that interception, just being all over the place. That continued today in practice, though it wasn't full contact. He still had some deflections and still had some tackles and was just being really aggressive going to the ball, which gives me a lot of confidence that his leg is fully healed, or at least his confidence is certainly there to continue to be big play Bené. And we still had a large number of guys that weren't practicing today. I think the total number was about 7 or 8. Some of those guys include Ed Dickson, Olsen, which I've talked about, Jonathan Stewart, and Dean Marlowe. So there were some others. I didn't get a chance to get all those guys down. But afterwards, Coach talked to us, members of the media, and when asked about preparing for the big game against Denver, he said that the coaches have already begun to do so. Game plan has been put into place yet. He expects some of the players to start to watch the tape to prepare for Denver later this week, and he expects that to be in full progress by next week in terms of preparing for that season opener, that Super Bowl rematch against the Denver Broncos. Jonathan Stewart today did have on a high altitude mask. Coach said he might get 53 of those to get them for all the guys. So they don't know exactly what they're going to do, but they're going to try to do some preparation for that condition as much as possible. Charles Tillman, former defensive back for Carolina, was in practice today. You know, he retired officially with the Chicago Bears, but Rivera said that he thought that it was a good idea to bring him in so that he could talk to some of the younger guys, give them some of that veteran experience. And, you know, if he could teach those guys the peanut punch and they continue to force some turnovers, that will be huge for this secondary. So we'll see how that unwinds. Charles will be in camp for about probably 2 more days. Rivera's believing on that one. And lastly, how does Coach feel about the progress so far? He says they're on track, but not exactly where they want to be. That's a little bit of a opposites there for me, but he said that he'd like to see those guys specifically do better in the red zone. We're having too many field goals, and last game we saw a trend with penalties, which, you know, that's just not going to get you very far, and good cahoots with the coach. So he wants to see those 2 things improved. And this Friday night, he does hope to see that the starters play a lot more and get a good look at those guys. So again, guys, appreciate you bearing with me on the quality of this video. Just had to redo it so that you did not miss the content. If you like the video minus the setting, please press the like button, and I'll continue to bring you guys updates. So subscribe to this YouTube channel so you will see these videos and more, as I will have some player interviews coming up. This is Chris Jenkins reporting from his garage for CharlotteVibe.com.